Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a comparison review using two stick foundations. Now over the last, I would say 3 to 4 weeks, I have been using the Makeup Revolution, and it is the stick foundation. Fast Base Stick Foundation in F4, and I've been absolutely loving this foundation. It retails for £5. You can pick it up from either tanbeauty.com or superdrug.com at the moment. Not in Superdrug stores though. I think it's going to launch at the end of this month if I am correct. Now the foundation that I've picked up to compare it against, because I've really been loving the stick foundation from Makeup Revolution, and of course that's £5. I love it, it's fantastic. But I came across this in Primark, and it's the PS My Perfect Colour Moisturising Foundation Stick, and this is £2.50. Now because I've been having such good results with the Makeup Revolution foundation, I wondered if perhaps the Primark one would compare to that. So I thought today I'd put on half of Makeup Revolution on this side and then Primark on this side, and see literally how they compare against each other. And because, like I say, I love this so much. And is this one going to be as good? So I'm going to talk you around the packaging, and then I'll do some swatches, and then I'll do a try on. Now the Makeup Revolution packaging is just beautiful. I love this nude packaging. It's a soft cream, well, it's a soft plastic. It's not, well, it is matte, I suppose. So it's a matte cream plastic, and when you open it, it has rose gold. We all love rose gold. It's got the Revolution font there on the front. I just absolutely love it. It just screams quality to me, and they've put a lot of effort into the packaging as well. The Primark packaging is glossy, it's black, again it's plastic. But it is, I mean, obviously it's £2.50, so it is fairly basic looking. The shade that I picked up in this one is it's Nude Beige. They did have a lot of this product, but they didn't seem to have a lot of shades, especially with pink tones. So I've gone with Nude Beige, and I hope that it works for me. Yeah, so I'm really excited about this trial. Obviously another comparison is the price. This one is £2.50, this one is £5. And like I say, I've been testing this now for a little while, and I was actually worried about wearing this, and I have been using an oil as well every day. I've been using the baking oil from Makeup Revolution, which has made an incredible difference to my skin. I am so pleased with that oil, and I would definitely be repurchasing it. I cannot live without it. But with this product, the oil on all my moisturisers, I did think, let me start again. So with the moisturisers and the oil, and then applying this, I thought, wow, you know, this isn't matte, and it's going to be very oily, or make my skin look very oily perhaps. But actually, yes, there is some dewiness to it, but it's been working absolutely fine for me. So I hope that this one is going to be as good, but you can never tell obviously until you try. Now I've got my lace ears, which I'm just going to pop on, because what I don't want to do is have my hair in the way. So I'm going to apply the Makeup Revolution foundation first. Now I have been using this every single day, near enough. I think I've tested another Primark foundation, and I think I've worn my L'Oreal once, but apart from that, I have literally worn it every day, and that's how much it uses. It is so creamy, love it. So I'm just going to see if I can apply it just to half of my face. Of course, I've applied my brows, and I've also applied the concealer as well. This product is so soft and creamy, it's just a dream to apply. Now I'm using a kabuki brush that I picked up from Primark, not Primark, what am I talking about? I picked these brushes up from eBay. I've been going to Primark so much, I've got got it on the tip of my tongue all the time. So I've got 2 different kabuki brushes. Like I say, I picked these up from eBay in a pack of around about 7 brushes, I believe. And yeah, they are relatively cheap. I think they're about £3 or £4 for that set. Really love them. They wash up perfectly. So I'm just going to pat this into my skin now. Obviously got to be very careful around the brow area. Now I've actually ran out, or very very nearly ran out of my Duo brow pencil from Makeup Revolution, and I may have to, well, I will have to definitely get some more. I was hoping to wait until the weekend, but I'm not sure if it's going to last. And this morning I was in a bit of a panic, thinking, am I going to be able to get my brows on or not? Now, I've also found with this foundation, because when I first applied it I was layering it, and you know, but I tend to find that this foundation, less is more. You don't necessarily need to layer it, not unless obviously you've got blemishes or anything like that to cover. But I tend to find that, because, I mean, if you've got dry skin, you're going to be okay. This foundation is going to be a dream on your skin. But because my skin is a little bit oily, and I'm used to a matte foundation, I think less is more with this. I mean, the coverage on it is amazing. I mean, yes, I do have some redness to my skin. It is just the tone of it. But apart from that, I've got no spots. So, you know, I haven't put too much on. Basically, I've just covered my skin, and it's worked perfectly. And also, what I like about this, because with the L'Oreal foundation, which if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that was my holy grail, it tended to look quite like a mask. This actually looks like skin, and I really, really enjoy it. So now moving on to the Primark side. In fact, what I'll do is I will swatch as well. I don't even know if the shades are going to match. I do find it so difficult, you know, purchasing. Yeah, I thought so. The Makeup Revolution had one, F4, has actually got a pink tone to it, and the one from Primark, they didn't have any pink tones in there. This is Nude Beige, and this is going to be okay, but it may not match this, but hopefully it will all look okay in the end. So I'm going to do the same thing. Wow, this feels very, very creamy. It actually feels just as creamy as the Makeup Revolution. So if you again have dry skin, this is going to work perfectly for you. So I'm just going to again start patting this in. I think once it's on the actual face and I've got all of my other makeup on, hopefully you won't be able to see the difference in tones. But at the moment, it's not looking too bad. Now I've actually become a little bit of a convert to Primark's makeup foundation, because I tried another foundation the other day, which was the dupe for the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and it worked so well. That's not too bad actually, as a match, I mean. Just put a little bit more on my nose. I always have to do this. that person on the bike, they do that every single day at very, very similar times. So obviously they're coming home for their lunch perhaps. Okay, so that's not too bad. I think I've covered everywhere. I might just put a little bit more on my chin, just because that is my problem area. I've got a little bit of, I've got some pores on there. I'm just going to pop a little bit more of the Makeup Revolution on the other side. I'm really loving the fact that you know, these less expensive brands are coming out with such good makeup. I mean, Primark, a few years ago, I wouldn't even have dreamt of buying their makeup, you know, let alone the foundation, because I'm so fussy about what I put on my skin, you know, as foundation. Now, my first thought with the Primark foundation, I have some redness here. It is just the tone of my skin, and it's covered it. Obviously, I've put the same on, so it also seems to be that the Makeup Revolution one is a little bit more dewy. I don't know if it's perhaps the light, how it's hitting, but this one is definitely dewy as well. But they feel very, very much the same in texture. I'm used to a matte foundation. These are definitely not matte, but they feel exactly the same. So if I didn't know that I had two separate foundations on my face, I wouldn't know that they were different, because they feel exactly the same. I'm just going to put a little bit more here, just because I can see a little bit of my tone peeping through. That's better. But yeah, also the colour. Obviously this side has got a little bit more of a pink tone to it, but again, as I'm looking in the camera and I'm looking in my mirror, I can't see any difference. I don't know if I will when I view it back, but at the moment I can't see any difference. Now what I'm going to do is I'm using this at the moment, and it's the PS My Perfect Colour Mineral Powder. It's a medium coverage and it's in Cool Sand. And the reason why I've got this, I really wanted a translucent powder, but I have found it really difficult to find a, whoops, is that the right way up? It is, a translucent powder. So I've had to use this. I was using a banana powder, but I'm finding that because now I'm using these foundations, or, you know, the Makeup Revolution foundation, what's happening is that the yellow is looking too yellow. It was okay with the L'Oreal, but it's not okay with this one. So what I do is I tip a little bit of the product out, and I have to set this because of my oily skin tone. So all I do is, and I've got a Real Techniques brush, I just pat it all over the skin. This really does make such a difference, because, you know, I have to do this, otherwise my face would be incredibly oily by this evening. So this works very, very well for me. Hopefully over the weekend I can get a translucent powder, but what will happen, and I can only obviously speak about the Makeup Revolution at the moment, is that it will just blend in, and it still gives me a little bit of dewiness, which is obviously what we want, but it's not, you know, it just counteracts too much dewiness. So I just have to pop that all over, so you can still see a little bit of dewiness, like I said. Now what I'm going to do is use my Holy Grail product from Makeup Revolution. I'm not going to do an eye look, so it is just basically, you know, how these powders now apply to the face, and then I'll give you my conclusion at the end. So I'm using my NYX fan brush with my Renaissance Glow, and it will be this shade, and I'm just going to, actually I better warm my forehead up. I keep, on these videos, I keep forgetting to do my forehead. So apologies, but usually I do this, but I've forgotten it a couple of times. I do like my face very, very warmed up. It just suits me better with the colouring that I've got, hair and so forth. Oh, I love this so much. I must get another one because you can see from the pan how much I use. It is just, oh, I just love it. At the moment I'm using it more of a bronzer, or more as a bronzer, just because I like it to warm my skin up, but it just is amazing. Now I've also found putting the oil on my skin and I did have problems with my nose, so every time I used to do this with the L'Oreal foundation, bearing in mind it is matte, so whatever product I put on my nose, whether it's bronzer or highlight, that used to then take the foundation off. But now I'm putting that oil on, it really does help to, I don't know, adhere, the makeup adheres to that, and it's so good. So I'm just bronzing up my face literally everywhere. So that's the bronzer done. Now what I want to do now is add a little bit of blush, and I'm still loving this palette, and it is the Revolution blush palette in Hot Spice. So I'm absolutely loving this, and there's so many colours to choose from. If you like those peachy shades, then yeah, you're going to love this. I think I'm going to go for this one down here today. I think I put too much of that on. I'll have to blend that in a moment. So that is the blush on. Yeah, that's better. I think I took too much off there. Okay, so that's that. Now I would like to add a highlight, and what I'm going to do is add a little bit of this, and it's the Makeup Revolution Liquid Highlighter in Liquid Luminous Gold. Just put a little bit of that on. Now what I'm going to do, let me just move my brushes. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the back of my hand. Like that. I'm going to get my little sponge, which is the sponge that I always use. I'm going to dip that around and then just pop that on. Well, I don't want it to be too much, but I just want it to give me a little glow. Might have to add a little bit more product there. The only problem with using sponges is that they do tend to soak up product, but I do find that this is the best. That's worked beautifully actually. Let's add a bit more on this side. So that's that, perfect. Lovely. Like I say, I'm not going to do the eyes today, and the reason for that is I'm going to be doing a tutorial in a moment. Now just for the lip product, and I'm using the new Makeup Revolution, and they are the Nudes collection in Buff. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of this. I absolutely love the smell of these, and it is a matte. So that's Buff, and these are only £3. If you like this colour, it will dry down matte, and it is just stunning. It's a beautiful peachy pink colour, very nude, very beautiful and amazing. So let me just take my cat ears off, and I will talk about what I think about the foundations. Okay, so what I will say is that obviously this one was £5, this one is £2.50. Yeah, £2.50. What I will say about the packaging, I absolutely love the Makeup Revolution. There's no denying that the extra that you're paying for this one is so worth it for the packaging. I just absolutely love it. This one obviously is just basic packaging, but even so, you know, it works, it does the job. So it just depends on what packaging you like. I certainly prefer this one. As for the foundation, I must say that even though this one is more of a pink tone, this one is a more of a neutral tone, I would say. They both applied, and once you applied them to the skin, they looked very, very similar. So you can see that's Makeup Revolution, that is Primark. I would say, and you can see that from the swatch on my arm there, Makeup Revolution seemed to be a little bit more glossy. Not glossy, more dewy, I suppose. It is dewy, and I have found that. I have found that since using it. It is dewy. It looks dewy on my skin, and I'm just going to mattify that area. And it does, you know, it looks very dewy. By the end of the afternoon, I am, you know, dewy. I think what I will have to do on my Instagram is put an update. So obviously you can see how my skin is now. I think what I'll do is after 8 hours, I will post a picture of what this looks like in say 8 hours time, and you can take a close-up look of what it looks like. Obviously there's some dewiness there because I've put the highlight on, but also I had to add a little bit more to the Makeup Revolution side as well, just to cover a little bit of redness that I've got on my skin, whereas with the Primark side I didn't have to do that. They both seem, you know, there's one swatch or one swipe, and you can see that both of them have very, very good coverage. Both of them seem to blend very easily. They both seemed very creamy on application. So really at the end of the day, it just depends on how much you want to spend. But they seemed very, very comparable to each other. So £2.50, £5. I think, you know, if you like the packaging, I would definitely go for this. There are more pink tones within the Makeup Revolution collection. And what I have found, since I've been trying to hunt down another foundation from Primark, is that you can, I know sometimes, you know, it's annoying because Superdrug sells out of the Makeup Revolution shades very, very quickly, but you know, within a couple of days or a week, or, you know, you can always purchase it from, you know, if it's not available in Superdrug, you can get it from Makeup Revolution. But I have found with Primark that they take so long to stock a product, especially when it's popular, and these foundations from Primark at the moment are popular, and I'm finding that it is so difficult to track down a certain product. So although yes, where I went to and I purchased this from the Cambridge store, they were well stocked, but they do seem to sell out really quickly and it takes forever for them to then restock. I don't necessarily think that the shade range is quite there either. I mean, Makeup Revolution, they've got 18 shades. You can also get the concealer to match, so that is a plus point as well. So you've got 18 shades, you've got neutrals, you have got pink tones, you've got more peachier tones within that collection, and I do find that Primark just aren't quite there with the shade ranges. Usually I would go for a pink tone, but I had to get, you know, the neutral tone. It has worked on this occasion, which I'm really pleased about. And for £2.50, I think the quality is really, really, you know, comparable to Makeup Revolution. You can certainly see that from my face today. But yeah, the only difference I can say at this point, the coverage was really good with both. I felt that, you know, they both feel exactly the same on application. I would just say that Makeup Revolution's foundation is just slightly dewier than this one. So if you've got dry skin, you're going to absolutely love this. But this is still creamy, it still applies very well, and for £2.50 it's amazing. So there's, you know, pros and cons with both of them, but I would just say, please Primark, I mean, they're obviously not watching, but if they are, please restock your foundations. It is so frustrating when you cannot pick up what you want from the store. But yeah, apart from that, I'm really pleased with the look. I would of course love your feedback as always. Have you tried this? Have you tried this? What are you thinking about each of those? What did you think of the application and how do you think it looks now? I'd really love that feedback. And of course, if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. I upload every day apart from Sundays. But until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.